Hello and welcome to News Watch at 6. I'm Tiger DeMello. We're going straight to the news of the day tonight, as we are still tracking President Biden's decision to not seek re-election. It's a decision that has major implications for us here in the Mountain State. One of our senators, Joe Manchin, was floated as a possible candidate for president. Meanwhile, Senator Shelley Moore Capito calling on the president to resign from office, and Representative Carol Miller telling us that President Biden's decision came at the right time. We're breaking it all down for you right now, starting with our Senator Manchin today, who put a rest to the speculation about his future once again. Rumors about Manchin running for president have been swirling for much of the election cycle. If you remember our Serena DeVanzos reporting from last night, Manchin was rumored to be considering a run for the nomination at the upcoming convention. Today, he once again made the talk show circuit, confirming that he was considering a run for president, but ultimately decided against it. He's also ruled out any vice president talks. Rather, he wants to make sure moderates have a seat at the table. Here he is on CNN earlier today. Take a listen.
You would like to see some sort, have some debates, have something. There's plenty of time. We act like there's no time at all. I have been very humbled by people calling and asking, would you consider, would you talk about us? As my main thing is that we have a voice. I want the middle to have a voice.
Manchin also saying today that President Biden is a friend and can now focus his energies on finishing out his term as president. And Manchin hopes that he can still achieve some priorities. We heard something completely different from Shelley Moore Capito today, both in a statement and an interview Newswatch conducted with her earlier this morning. We'll go to what Senator Capito wants Biden to do next in one moment. But first, we want to show you what the senator told our Jillian Risberg earlier today during a visit to Fayette County. Take a listen.
I've felt for a while, certainly the last several weeks, month, that he could not continue on a campaign. I think that was pretty obvious in the debate. This issue didn't just pop up overnight with the president. And I'd like to know who knew about this? What were the questions that were being asked? Why were we not made aware of this sooner? And that troubles me because I think that's something that the American people need to know. But, I wish President Biden well. I certainly think it's probably a very tough decision for him and his family.
Capito shared those thoughts with us during a visit to the Canyon Rim Visitor Center earlier today. I'll tell you more about that visit later on tonight. But first, we need to go to another statement her office made today, calling on President Biden to step down from office. The statement argues that President Biden cannot fill the duties of office. She says that members of the president's inner circle are allowing him to continue what Capito describes as a cognitive decline. Capito also criticized Vice President Kamala Harris's record. That statement in part reads, quote, "Whether it's her failed leadership on her out-of-control southern border or her deciding vote in passing the so-called Inflation Reduction Act that supercharged the skyrocketing inflation Americans still feel to this day, a Harris administration would be more of the same," end quote. And Capito is not the only West Virginian calling for the president to leave office before his end of term. Attorney General Patrick Morrisey saying today that Vice President Kamala Harris should exercise the 25th Amendment and declared that the president is unable to discharge the duties of his office. There's been no push in Washington at this hour to remove Biden from office at this time. Morrisey, of course, is the Republican nominee for governor in West Virginia. Meanwhile, Representative Carol Miller was in Beckley to honor former Raleigh County Commissioner Dave Tulliver. We'll have more on that story shortly. But we want to pivot first and go to what she told our reporters about the president's decision. Yesterday, we reported the Congresswoman's statement in the wake of the announcement. She said, quote, "We need a commander-in-chief who can handle domestic and global adversity," end quote. She echoed that sentiment today, saying that the president made the right decision and that former President Trump is the better candidate.
It's a good thing. To everything there is a season, and he is making the right decision. I have supported President Trump since the beginning, and he is a strong leader, and that is what we need right now in the White House, is the strength that he provides.